Statistics show that 40 to 50% of married couples in the United States end in divorce. Some say that Christians are divorcing at the same rate as non-Christians, but this is not true. Catholic couples were 31% less likely to divorce. Jewish couples, 97% less likely to divorce. Protestant couples, 35% less likely to divorce. How much work is really needed for marriages to survive? Are people married and merry, or are they married and miserable?
Come on. See, first of all, I know these so-called players wouldn't tell you this. What? But I'ma be real and say what's on my heart. Yeah. Let's take this chance and make this love feel relevant. Didn't you know I loved you from the start? Yeah. When I think about all the years we put in this relationship. Yeah. Who knew it'd make it this far?
You're watching The Truth and a Church Girl. My name is Kim.
My name is Simone.
And I am Shay, and we are so delighted to introduce our new guest host, Miss Shawn. Woo!
Hi, everyone. I'm Shawn, and I'm just delighted to be here on this evening with these beautiful ladies. Let's have some fun, guys.
Yes. So here's the thing, right? When I was a little girl, let me start there.
That was a long time ago.
No, see. It's right. I always had this thought of getting married and having this big old wedding gown.
Haven't we all?
You know, the husband with the 2 dogs. I guess 2 children. No, 2 children. Exactly. But you know, these days when I'm thinking about marriage, I'm just like, I used to want it so bad, and now I'm just like, I don't know, because I'm trying to figure out, are people married and miserable, or are they married and merry? I don't know.
I would say married and married.
Married and married? You're
Today,
married
yes.
and married?
Today, yes.
Today.
Yes.
Today. Love you, honey. That's today. We're not going to tell you what she said. No, we're just joking.
Oh, my goodness.
We just joking. She loves her husband. She loves her husband.
Yes, she does.
Yeah,
Yes, she does.
We're trying to keep you married.
Well, Kim, I know, you got some thoughts about this whole married and miserable, married and married type of thing going on with these people.
Yes. As you can see, like in society today, you see people get married 1 minute and then they divorce the next second.
The
It's
next
like
second.
people don't want to work out marriage
They
anymore.
don't.
They
They
just
don't.
want to be in it, be perfect, and if it's not, you out.
You got to go.
Right.
You got to
It's
go.
like,
And it's
not
scary.
well. Exactly.
Because what happened to death do us part?
What happened to it?
Exactly.
And it's
worse.
died.
How
Right.
about that? No, I'm not agreeing to that, but a lot of times we don't see past the ceremony, the engagement, the ring, the big dress, the gifts. But when you get into marriage, you're going to have work to do, honey. So they don't see past that. So that's the problem.
What type of work because I have thoughts of what I imagine marriage to be like, and then I have thoughts of what it shouldn't be like. And so from what I understand, people are just like, throw out all those thoughts and just start new, start fresh. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think every marriage is unique. I mean, we've seen so many examples of it in church, out of church, on television, whatever you want to call it. But what amazes me are the people who've been together like 12, 13, 14 years.
Yeah.
Fine, happy, and as soon as they walk down the aisle, 2-3 months later, it's a done deal. What happens?
Well, first of all, you know the enemy comes against marriage. People, he wants you to think that being shacked up or, not committing under the covenant of God is better than actually being married. So first of all, we know the devil's a liar. But people go into marriage with these false concepts of this person's going to change. Or I'm now married, I got you, I don't have to work towards the marriage. And one thing a lot of people do is they get married and it's the husband and wife, they don't have God in the midst of their marriage. They leave him at the altar and they try to handle it themselves. That's not good.
And I think also in the Christian community, I think people get married for the very wrong reason.
Absolutely.
Talk about it.
I want some booty.
Yes, right.
I need to get married. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm tired of those lonely nights. So I'm going to marry Billy Bob with his one snag or two. And I know it's not right, but I still marry him because I want something. And I feel that we now need to really realize that premarital counseling is so important.
It's very important.
People don't want to do it.
Especially for Christians. I think I think premarital counseling should be with your pastor. You can't go to the world for your counseling, and they're going to give you worldly standards for your marriage. If you're a
Exactly.
Christian, you need to get premarital counseling with your pastor.
You know, some of the other issues that I have with, I'm single.
Me too, girl.
And I'm
So
really
am I.
not sure anymore whether I want to be married or not. Like,
Agreed.
I want to be.
Agreed.
I think. But I don't really know, because when I see a lot of marriages, I just see a whole lot of unhappy folk.
Yeah.
But one of the issues that I have, right, is I don't know why I'm whispering, but
It sounds better when
All right,
you're
that means it's
whispering.
deep. That means it's deep.
Yeah,
It's deep.
Sounds
one
better.
of the issues I have is when you're in the church and you know, you're pretty and you're single and you're minding your business.
Okay, I know where you're going.
And
I
you
know
got
where
one
you're
of
going.
these married men that come trotting their little self over there.
Trotting,
I'm
right.
not interested. I'm not
Galloping.
interested.
Exactly.
But then you got the wife come over to let you know that this is her husband. And I'm like, well, I wasn't looking at him no how. Your husband trotted over here.
Right.
I got a problem with that.
And if that was really your husband,
Once
you wouldn't
in
have to
church.
tell me that it
Right.
was your husband.
The church.
Right.
Like,
I agree.
But are you his wife?
Right.
that's the question. Because
Exactly.
Okay.
sorry to
No,
say that.
no, because that's the truth. Because I feel like a whole lot of folks are married to a whole lot of people. They just went to the aisle with one, but they married.
I
to a
know
lot
that's
of
what.
people.
That,
Getting
yes.
They still
like
texting
that.
Mona on the side.
As
You
soon
know
as
what
you
I'm
and
saying?
wifey have an argument, you want to be calling and but that's
Exactly.
a whole
But
nother
that's not,
issue.
you know, we
But
gonna-
I also have a problem with some of the older mothers in the church who plays in that, you know, because they make you feel like, well, sweetie, you ain't getting married yet, then something wrong with you.
Yes. And the
I
church
don't-
does. They have a tendency, whether it be the pastor, whether it be the mother or whomever, daughter, you got to get married. It's the right thing to do.
It's the
It's the
end
right
all
way
be
to
all.
go. And they force you into these situations, or they play on your mind, or whatever which way you want to put it. And then you find yourself in a situation saying, what have I done?
Right.
And who have I done it with?
Right. And how I'm going to get out.
Right. And
How
I
am I going to get out of it?
And you know, it's a big thing now. When people ask me that, they always like, "Oh, when you gonna get married? Well, when you gonna get a divorce?" Because it don't look like you happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, should we go back? Should I ask you the same question? And not to be funny, but it's almost like you're putting a standard on my life that you cannot control. God controls this, right? So I pray and I have a relationship with God. So I'm not just gonna have anybody and marry him. No. Okay, Mother Lisa.
Well, you know, we got a whole lot more stuff to say
Yes.
about this good, married and miserable or married and merry. And we have two awesome guests that will be joining us
Yes.
as soon as we return, who have been married for some years. And our girl Simone has been married too. She's been married for how many years? 4 years as of August.
Yes, congratulations.
Single, but we good.
All right.
All right.
Yes.
Talk about getting married,
I didn't
being
say it yet,
married,
that's all.
being miserable, being married, all of those different things. You're on with The Truth in the Church Girl, and we'll be right back.
Yes.
I can't stand the thought of losing you.
Catch The Truth in the Church Girl every fourth Monday on VusicLive.com and every fourth Wednesday on your Brooklyn cable station. Connect with us on all the social media outlets. Hello, we're back with The Truth in the Church Girl. And we have been talking about being married and miserable or being married and married. And so, the ladies, we have invited two guests who have been married for some years now, and they're going to tell you how many years they have been married. But I would like for them to introduce themselves and maybe just tell us how long you've been married and what do you do in ministry, because these are some ministry folks. Okay?
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Okay, so let's start right here.
Hi, my name is Reverend Sakina O'Kane Smith, and I have been married for 3 years since August 26, 2012. And currently, I am a doctoral student, along with other ministry things, preaching, church consultant, and business entrepreneur.
Well, I am Kava Hicks. I've been married for 21 years.
Oh my gosh.
I am in ministry. I am a pastor's wife. I am the worship leader at our church. I am a mother of 4. I
Look like it.
got a lot of stuff going on.
I'm so excited to have you guys here. Thank you so much for coming. So, y'all already know we're about to get into some good old conversation.
Yes.
You know, this whole thing about the real side of marriage, you know, because I have my thoughts. But you guys that have been married, tell me about this real side of marriage. I mean, you take the vows. It's till death do us part, sickness or health. richer or poor? Talk about that, because everybody's just like, no, if you're sick, I'm gone. If you're poor, I'm gone. Well, if you're dead, you're gone. So it is
Well, I think that Simone said it best when she said that, you know, a lot of people get jaded behind the whole dress, the engagement, all of that, and really marriage is work. It's more work than you expect. I think you need to have a job description on what it means to be married, because you don't know about the work until you get in it. So, you know, all those little dreams get shattered when the real stuff starts to happen.
Right.
Currently, I am a blended family, so I have inherited 5 children on top of biologically having 2 children of my own. So having 7 children and a husband, and ministry and all of the other things, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of personalities. It's a lot of people involved. And, you know, you may deal with some people who are not spiritually astute as you are, in terms of they may not be saved. You know, I deal with unsaved family members from both parts. And so they don't understand what it means to live in a Christian home and to, you know, have all the family follow Christian principles when you come to our house.
Now, can I ask this question? Are all of you guys under the same roof?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
No.
Right now.
I want to get back to that, but definitely about this whole commitment to God and the commitment to the vows. Is it a commitment to God? Is it a commitment to the man? Is it a commitment to the union or the institution of marriage? Because some people got it a little twisted in terms of who it's a commitment to.
Well, first of all, that's a loaded question. But when you think about it, your commitment, if you're going to get into marriage, should be first to God. Because He gives us the perfect example about what marriage should be as He is married to the church.
Yes.
So your commitment should be to Him. That's the only way, really, that you can be committed to anybody else.
Right.
Because of that example. Because you will find yourself feeling like, excuse me?
Right.
I'm out.
Right.
This is why people find themselves in that place, because we look at imperfect people.
Yes.
Right.
And we look for them to be perfect, and they're not perfect.
Right.
And so when they fail, we want to jump ship. So I would say first be committed to God, then committed to your spouse, and committed to the institution of marriage.
Man, I like that.
Okay, ladies, I have a question that I would like to ask about the importance of dating your spouse and what that looks like in the church.
It looks great. if you know how to do it. I think it goes back to your covenant agreement. Again, I agree with Minister when she says, there's no blueprint for marriage. There is no one that's really telling you how to do this. You got to pretty much work it out on your own terms.
Well, we want to stick a pin right there because we don't want to miss anything.
So we're going to come right on back and hear from First Lady and Sakina with the body butters, okay? So again, you're watching The Truth in the Church Girl.
We are back, guys, and guess what? We got an awesome treat for you guys. Music is a part of everyone's culture. Don't you guys love music? Yes, indeed. Well, we have a treat for you. Right now, we have Al Graves, who is on drums. We have Ellis Abrams, who is on bass. We have Todd Bristow, who is on keyboard, and Professor Chris Joyner, who is on keyboard as well. We want to welcome them to the show, guys. You are in for a serious treat.
Welcome back, guys, to The Truth and the Church Girl. Before we broke, we was raising a very interesting question to the ladies about the importance of dating your spouse and what that looks like within the church. You know, oftentimes growing up as a teenager, I looked at some of the married couples in the church and they would just leave and they looked tired. You asked them where they was going, they was just going to go home and do whatever. You know, you never really hear about anyone dating each other.
Right.
What do you ladies think about that?
You have to have balance. And it took me and my husband a while to get that, because there's a lot of sacrifice when it comes to ministry. That's your second home, if not, for some people, their first home. You raise your children in church, you eat in church, you sleep, you do all that stuff in church, and there's no break and no time for you and your spouse. And so you have separations. And so it's important to incorporate that balance in your life. So it looks real good.
It looks good.
It looks real good. And it looks real good, and it is good when you take the time to incorporate that in your marriage. You have to take that.
Now, do you think it should be a particular day of the week and it should happen every single week?
I think it's important that you make that time.
She's not committing.
She's not going to commit to that day.
No, not a specific. No,
Not a specific.
that's too
no,
scheduled, like a
wouldn't,
work
yeah.
schedule or something.
No, but is marriage not intentional? Is that not?
It is, but
it's
I
also
would not
spontaneous, pretty much.
specifically put Tuesday is our date night. That can happen. The reason for that is because you have to think about life still goes on. So there's crisis. There are things that happen. There are ministry issues. There's things that you may be doing that don't allow you to have that day.
So, but I guess my thing is, I'll just say this and leave it here. Should it be something that is always incorporated? Because if it's not something that's always incorporated, are other people willing to incorporate things for you or for your husband, and then you stay committed to that thing and not the thing that you put on the table for you and your husband?
Well, I think you definitely have to make the time, whether you schedule it for this particular day or not. And what I think also, we need to be creative in our dating, because it's not going to always be a 5-star hotel. It's not going to always be that we're going to a restaurant. We may just be sitting in the car and having me time, me and him. But it's our time and it's quality. So you got to make it quality time. Absolutely, because life happens.
But I did have a question for you, ladies. So this is something I am really big on. So I was looking at statistics online, and what I learned is that there are 13 million more women that are going to church than men, right? So out of all those 13 million women, about 13 million of them is coming up to your band, hitting on him. What do you do as women, especially First Lady, because your man is in the forefront, and everybody looking for a daddy and a husband and somebody, and the pastor touched her that day, and she want to touch him on his arm, and ask him for his phone number and call him at 10 o'clock at night. How do you handle those things?
The part she need prayer.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I shut it down.
Talk about it.
I shut it down. I shut it down. And I may not, my husband is, you could say he's like the leading gentleman. The thing is, a lot of women are attracted to the anointing that is on the life of the man of God. And of course they are anointed when they're married to beautiful women such as ourselves. The Bible does say that, when a man findeth a wife, he find favor with God. So we do understand there's some favor there and there's some anointing there. So they are attracted to that. And so you have to shut things down because you have a lot of people who are very disrespectful. Okay, they look past it because society has made it okay to be disrespectful to the man or woman of God who is in a marriage. And, because of the side chicks, because of the that kind of thing. So even in the church, because there's no standard that is being raised in the church about being respectful to the marriage, it's almost as like you need to know that. I don't want to say it's common sense today. I think it's a learning lesson. And so since no one's teaching it, I'm teaching it personally.
When I have to teach it? I do. But in that regard, he has the power to shut it down.
Aren't y'all both from Harlem?
Yes.
Oh, they know how to shut it down.
Yeah. You got to go back to the covenant that you and your husband have, and you have to say, what do we agree on? It's not my position to step to anybody. You have the authority to shut it down.
Speak on it. Love it.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Wow.
Still be
But I have one thing I'd like to ask you ladies, because I know I had an idea. What changed? What thought did you have about marriage before you were married versus now being in marriage? Like, was there any comparison in your thoughts, or is it the same thing you imagined it to be?
Well, I was like Shay with the whole white picket fence and all of that. And I really just thought I was going to go to Never Never Land. I did. And then I got married. And it was like, okay, this is real life stuff. And, you know, all kinds of things happen. Like your mother-in-law gets sick. Your father-in-law gets sick. You know, people pass away. You know, how you have children that is going crazy and all those things. And if you don't be intentional about that, that's the whole part about the balance. If you're not intentional about staying married, you know, then that's the problem. You know, because then those when all those little side pockets and those holes come in, and they're not sealed. And when they're not sealed, there's openings for all kinds of things to happen. And so you have to be intentional about it. But the bottom line is you have to be intentional about marriage.
Let me ask this question.
Uh-oh.
If you had to do it all over again, would you have waited? Would you have married quicker, or would you have just not married?
That's a good one. You want to go first?
Listen, I'm going to be very honest with you.
That's it.
I got married because it was the right thing to do.
Right.
Okay.
I was newly saved, and my reflection of what marriage was if it ain't working, get another one. If I knew I was going to have babies, because that's what I had in front of me. I knew I was going to have babies, but marriage, it was like, it wasn't really in my view. But when I got saved, it was like, you can't just have babies. You need to be in covenant with someone. Right. And so it was a struggle for me because I was independent, had my own stuff. I had a power struggle. I had to struggle giving up the power, and I had my own thing. So it was like, okay, I don't really need you. Right. I can do what I need to do, but my whole mindset had to be changed. Okay. So yeah.
Well, that was great.
That was awesome.
Well, just very quickly, what would you do?
Well, actually, I was celibate for 10 years before I got married.
Praise the Lord.
So I waited. So and I would have to say that was a good wait.
I believe that.
That was a good way. I learned so much about myself.
Yes.
Who God is, who I am in God, what I like, what I don't like. What was my faults in my past relationships? Because it takes two people to mess up a relationship, not just one person. So you learn a lot about yourself when you are engulfed in your relationship with God. And so I waited those years because I wanted the right person. Because I was dating knuckleheads before.
All right. So you would have gotten married quicker?
I waited, but I still would have waited a little while longer. Because I dated my husband 3 years before we actually got married.
And you would have waited?
I think it was better. I think I want to renew my vows because I know now what.
That's awesome. Wow.
I like
that. Okay.
That's a good twist.
Well, you've been watching The Truth in the Church Girl. We will be right back with some more interesting discussions with these wonderful married ladies who's married and married, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Tune in next week for part 2 of Married and Merry or Married and Miserable.